So I possibly was, as neuroplasticity is likely a medically inconvenient truth, but I'll get to that later. I'm a childhood head trauma patient who fell off a bicycle at the age of 11 and got a really bad concussion. In 2003, I saw a patient with HIV admitted into the intake ward of CMHA in Penetanguishene, and a nurse I knew told me she was bitten by this patient. She told me she did live in the city I live in now. I did know her, and then later on, I actually saw her in this city, but the last I saw her was 2011. So I'm going to just go with what I saw and why I think I have blocked it thus far. The vector of spread may be sexual aggression, but in a way that causes it to spread in mental health and healthcare unobserved. Human beings aren't apes and can predict outcomes in the future much better. The simplest form of sexual aggression is the ability to falsify intimacy with another person. This is the most important thing you need to realize. The simplest form of sexual aggression is the ability to falsify intimacy with another person. In mental health, that is a consequence of how many patients are on one ward and the need to isolate someone during a panic attack. This specific vector of spread is by default unwitnessed, and the mechanical means to block it are difficult to build trust in a relationship with a person. You have to enact them on yourself and be very calm. And anyway, one ends up with a divergent virus, one taking the path of visible promiscuity where you can't predict where it comes from or where it goes. The other one taking this alternate aforementioned path. The simplest form of sexual aggression is the ability to falsify intimacy with another person. Alright, this looks exactly like vampirism, but it's with a real virus, and it's taking a real specific mechanical path. It's 2006 now. 2003 is a long way in the past, and I saw things there really quite nightmarish, and I'm starting to end up with fewer explanations as to how I'm still here. Beware suddenly missing patients. Anywhere you can't see evidence of promiscuity or violence, governments tend to take blood samples, often by any means necessary, making it itself this disease vector inside of the ability, regardless of the intent of the greater good. Because one can't rule out that HIV spreads inside of the ability to falsify intimacy with another person, beware the abuse of legal dwarfs. These are people under 5 feet tall and are unable to meet simple height requirements for the labor force. They would be dumped in primarily poor and Christian neighborhoods, which are encouraged by their local churches to take in the disadvantaged, especially during winter. This results in a social nightmare where the person they take in out of the cold is too small to defend themselves, and this raises questions around their ability to refuse intimacy, making this then a vector of potential spread by investigation. It's what you would call faking they would use dwarves to fake it for blood work.